If there's one thing the Chargers and Cowboys have in common, it's that the regular season is their only time for happiness. And lucky for Chargers fans, the MVP is a regular season award.
Yeah, this ain't no overnight success. I pay my dues and pay my debts. Works for this gold around my neck. Got through my worst, I'm at my best. About time I say it with my chest, man, I can't lose. I can flex and I can fall, but I can't.
Question everyone wants to know in the offseason is who's going to win the 2026 MVP. Now, my current pick is Drake May, but there's quite a case for Justin Herbert. Let's get into it. The Chargers made some big moves this offseason, strongly bolstering their interior of the offensive line, bringing in Keaton Mitchell, one of the fastest backs in all of football, and drafting Brennan Thompson, one of the fastest receivers in all of football. But why bring in all this speed and why changing this offensive line scheme? Well, it's quite obvious. Mike McDaniel. If you're unfamiliar with Mike McDaniel was able to lead top 5 offenses with Tua Tagovailoa at quarterback. And right now, Tua Tagovailoa is in a tough battle with Michael Penix Jr. Now, if I know anything for certain, I know that Justin Herbert is a much better quarterback than Michael Penix Jr., which means he's a much better quarterback than Tua Tagovailoa. So, you give Mike McDaniel and Justin Herbert a group with Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnson, and a draft pick in Brennan Thompson, and look at this improved offensive line group, I start to see a big case for Justin Herbert to win MVP. But it doesn't just start there. It's more than just the big addition of Mike McDaniel and their draft, as well as his offensive line. There's also the thought that Mike McDaniel brings in a better running game, probably the most unique running game Justin Herbert will ever see. As Mike McDaniel has consistently been top 10 in the league in garnering 20-plus yard run plays. What does that do? That opens up play action. We saw it just last season. Justin Herbert, when he runs play action, is significantly better because what happens when you run play action? You're kept clean. And for the Chargers on offense, who's going to bring in those 20-plus yard carries? Probably not a Marion Hampton, right? Well, you'd be right. It'll be Keaton Mitchell, who ran a staggering 4.3 40-yard dash coming out of college. And in Baltimore, had some pretty impressive numbers as a backup running back, averaging 5.8 yards per carry on 59 attempts. And even his rookie year, and a staggering 8.4 yards per carry on 47 attempts. So, career average of 6.3 yards per carry on 121 career attempts. Now, what does Mike McDaniel do best? Mike McDaniel finds a way to maximize the strengths of his running backs and his receivers. And the strength of Keaton Mitchell is speed. What was the strength of Devon Achane, the most prolific back in Miami under Mike McDaniel? Speed. That big playability, combined with Marion Hampton's down-to-down consistency if he can stay healthy this season, creates what should be one of the most prolific and dangerous rushing attacks in all of football. And what does that do? It opens up what Mike McDaniel wants to do, RPOs and play action, which creates more efficiency for Justin Herbert. And now this year, Justin Herbert coming off of his highest career interception rate in the last 4 years with 13 picks. So let's go back a year ago. 23 touchdowns to 3 picks and 3,800 total yards, with a higher average per game and yards per attempt than this season. So just think, you keep that same consistency on interceptions, touchdown interception ratio, 23-3, which is absurd, but you bring in more big plays. Now, all of a sudden, you could be looking at a Aaron Rodgers type season, one of those 35, 41 touchdowns to 5, 6 interceptions, or maybe even less. That sounds like an MVP to me. And if you really want to talk about the MVP case, how about winning this division? We're talking about the Chargers having a shot at winning this division. Yes, you're looking at a very large case for MVP because this might be the hardest division in all of football. Beating the Kansas City Chiefs with a much healthier unit outside of quarterback and taking over the Denver Broncos, who just went to the AFC Championship and in many people's eyes would have went to the Super Bowl if not for a Bo Nix injury. And if you look at trends in MVP history, the MVP typically wins 12 or more games, throws for about 40 touchdowns, and has 4,500 or more passing yards or total yards. What normally brings that all together for an MVP season is protecting the football with lowering those interception numbers. Like I just told you earlier, Justin Herbert's coming off of a year where he had just 3 interceptions a year ago. But he's also had a year in his career where he's thrown for 5,000 yards and 4,700 yards. And we see him throw for 38 touchdowns. So we know that Justin Herbert can protect the football, can throw penalty touchdowns, can throw 5,000 yards, and can have a high QBR and completion percentage. Which tells me that with a great coach like Mike McDaniel, and with a new deep threat in Brennan Thompson and an improved running game with the addition of a healthy Marion Thompson and Keaton Mitchell, that Justin Herbert can absolutely put it all together and win the MVP in 2026. And probably the most underrated part of Herbert's game is his ability to create and throw accurate passes in tight coverage. Watch here on play action. Herbert's going to roll out right and throw this ball in a tight window to make a perfect throw on this guy. And Justin Herbert is a master of making something out of nothing. Look here. He's guarded, he's guarded, he's guarded, he's guarded. So what you got to do? You're going to have to create. What's Herbert going to do to make that happen? Step out of this sack, roll out right, and then watch this receiver here. He's guarded. You have to put this up and over this corner, but also up and away from the safety. Look, Perfect ball. Look again from the end zone angle. Rolling out, getting out of his pressure. Pressure in his face. Still delivers a perfect throw. Perfect back shoulder. And once again, Herbert's going to step back. Got nothing to work with. Everyone's guarded. Now maybe you could throw this check down, but look, this edge rusher's got a hand in his face, so you can't really make that throw. So what you're going to do is step up, break 2 sacks, then step up to the left and roll out. Still nobody's really open, but Herbert's going to throw him open. Great ball, great catch. And then again, from the end zone angle, this is just perfect technique. Swatting that hand down, going to roll out and fire this ball the tightest window you can see. And then once again, to me, the most beautiful throw in all of football, a perfect back shoulder downfield. I think Herbert throws this ball as good as anybody outside of Drake May. Just look at it again from the end zone angle. This guy's not open really. Got to put it on that shoulder, and he does. And then here, this is just showing how much of a master of accuracy and timing he is. This window is as tight as it can possibly be, but Herbert's going to find the way somehow to fit this in there. And this is why velocity is important. And here, once again, talk about velocity, and when we get to the end zone angle, I'll show you why it's important. But across his body, going to fire this ball on the money. But look at where he is when he throws his ball. He's going to roll out and then stop here. Look, he's got to throw it across his body, which is the cardinal sin in all of football for quarterback. But when you're Herbert and you've got the velocity he does, you can do it. And of course, at 6'5", 6'6", one of the strongest quarterbacks in all of football, got Chris Jones swinging at that arm. He's going to power through, step up, and just perfect time to release this ball on what a beautiful ball to Joshua Palmer. And then once again, what he does best, putting perfect touch on those deep contested throws right over the hand of this corner. But how about the catch from Quentin Johnson as well? One-handed over poor Savone Revel. A perfect throw once again. And man, you talk about teach tape. There is no better teach tape than Justin Herbert when he's not in the playoffs. Look here, going to step up into this pocket to the left, and then going to fire this ball into a tight window. But it doesn't matter. It's just perfect ball placement. And people say Justin Herbert's a little too glazed. I mean, watch the tape. The pocket movement is immaculate, and then this ball, it's just phenomenal touch. And a great grab as well against this terrible Cowboy secondary. So, you've seen the film, you've seen the numbers, but can you see the vision? Because I do. And Justin Herbert will be an MVP finalist in the 2026 NFL season.